What?
What's up?
We're doing this.
We sure are.
Okay, wait, we have to cheers.
Cheers,
Because,
cheers.
like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. A little cheers. A little cheers to get us started. What is this? What are we drinking?
A little heavy pour doesn't hurt anybody. A little pinot.
Um, but no, this is a big deal.
It is.
And
We're doing it.
I don't know if, like, people will really understand how big of a deal it is. Like, this is over 10 years. I guess, like, 12 to 13 years in the making that we've been talking about doing this.
It has.
And it took us, like, we took the scenic route to get here, and we're here. And, like, that's something worth
I like how
celebrating.
you said that. We took the scenic route.
We did. Sometimes you have to take the scenic route in life, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine where we would have been 12, 13 years ago if we had started. Like, what would that content have even looked like? Like, what do we even talked about?
Two completely different people. So definitely, I feel like we're doing this at the perfect time.
For sure.
And this is a major milestone in our relationship, in our lives, and I feel like this is, we're turning a new leaf, and we're just like embarking on this new amazing journey together.
For sure. It's like we're almost like assuming this position of this new, like, dimension or timeline
really
or
good.
like life that we want to live. And I think that it's so important to be having these kinds of conversations, like showing up for ourselves, what shifting in your life looks like. And to me, it's like we're not here for clout. Like, we're here to show up for each other and be intentional, which is something that's like really hard to do when you've been together for as long as we've been together.
Sure.
When you've been in parenting, like when you're really, really in like the depths and the hard parts of parenting, especially with little kids. So this is really almost like an experiment of like our commitment to entering this new era together. Like, we want to leap into it together. Yep. So in order for us to do it together at this point in our lives, like, we have to be intentional and we have to show up, even if we have to do it in this like really kind of like insane way. This is fun. This is fun. So cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers to showing up.
It's what? Let me make sure I cheers.
We're gonna have a lot of cheers today.
For sure.
But we earn the cheers.
But yeah, no, this is definitely like a new kind of way for us to communicate with each other and kind of just take our relationship to another level, and just explore and like talk to each other and share, I don't know, what we think about, parenthood, our relationship, what's going on the world. Just talk about a lot of everything and anything, and again, just use it as a way to connect with each other and hopefully connect with people out there.
For sure, like build community, because like right now, like if we're being honest, if you want to know what a village looks like, this is it. Like, we're the village.
It's the virtual village nowadays. Huh?
and we are like, everything is like, people are so chronically online, although I don't know if I really identify with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the most part we are so chronically online.
It's just so it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not the only way that we connect, but it is surely now one of the ways.
Like the primary ways.
Like,
yeah.
It could be primary for a lot of people. I feel like I have a lot of, human to human interaction on a day-to-day basis, but I feel like this is for sure something that in this day and age, in which we live, like digital, like connecting is normal, and it's like something that everybody does. So
sure. I just feel like if you, even when you connect in person, like if you can't connect in an online forum as well,
Mm-hmm.
then it's almost like it doesn't even exist. Like even when you meet somebody new, like
Sure.
in a social setting, like what it's somebody that you vibe with. What's the first thing that you ask for? Like, oh, like are you on Instagram, or like are
For
you
sure.
on WhatsApp, or
Yeah.
like we should get together. Like
What are
let's
you
exchange
watching? What do
numbers,
you? Yeah.
and like you connect through all of these things that like are really on a screen. Exactly, like a great example. Like what are you watching, and like
For
these
sure.
are the things that you connect over,
Yeah.
and we connect over entertainment and over the digital experience, even when we're connecting in person.
Sure.
And but I think just like being able to have our own corner and have our own voice and do it in a way that's like I almost feel like it's really profound. Like I feel like we're going on this spiritual experience because I feel like we're not showing up here randomly. Like I feel like we are being called to do this, and I feel like part of the transition in our life, we've talked about this a lot lately, is like you were going through something, and in your professional life. And it
Mm-hmm.
almost felt like you were so stressed out because you kept like meeting all of this resistance, and it was almost like the universe, God, whoever you believe in, was almost like saying like, hey, this isn't the path for you, right?
Yeah.
And then we kept getting this like, I don't even call it ideas anymore, like we're getting these downloads. I'm getting these downloads of like direction. Like some of these ideas,
Ideas and
they're
for
not
sure.
even like my own. It's
Yeah.
like some divine intervention is happening and saying like it, like not just like whispering it, like screaming at me
Yeah.
daily, like almost like if I don't do this, or if we don't pursue this and get this energy out and put this energy out into the world, like it almost feels like there's doom. Like we have to do this because this is our calling, which probably sounds bizarre, but
I
that's what I
just
feel
I
like.
feel like we've been talking about doing something like this for so long. We were saying this,
Mhm.
um, and like yes, this is the time. Like there's no time like the present for us to like just again put ourselves out there, do this. Just again, maybe we could have started this over 10 years ago, but I think now things are aligning in a certain way for
Mhm.
us to be able to do this, and it feels like it's the right time.
Mhm.
I think yeah, I think it's just like it's the moment for us to do this. Things like we're getting all these signs. Things are happening in our lives to where
Synchronicities, like yeah,
it just feels right that
yeah.
this is the time that we should be doing
And we
this.
really are stepping into this like new era. Like another thing we're celebrating is that we're coming up on, it's not like the major milestone, but like we're close to
It's a big one.
a major
It's a big one.
milestone, and we're celebrating our anniversary this weekend.
Yeah.
And we don't get to this number accidentally. I was gonna say like, what if we like made people guess how long? Because I also wanted to see like how long it would take for us to say it,
For
because it's
sure.
almost like the first thing I usually say. But like, what if we made our audience guess? But then I was like, oh wait, like this is our first episode. Like we're manifesting an audience, we're manifesting a community.
But
But like,
it would be
but
fun
like,
for people
but
to kind
like,
of like
but
try and guess as
but
to
like, I
what
was like, but what if
how
we
long we've been
don't?
together.
But what if like we don't get many comments just because it's the first video, right? Just
Yeah.
because it might take people a minute to find
For sure.
us. But then I was thinking because I saw this, I was watching the Valley. I'm like really into the Valley right now, and there's this
That's
one
like the
guy,
Vanderpump. Is that
yeah,
right?
like a
Okay.
Vanderpump Rules spinoff
Yeah.
of like people in their 30s, like in like buying in their homeowner parenthood era.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, like I'm gonna just call him like he who shall not be named because I really don't want to give him a platform on our platform. But something that he does is that he has this burner account and he'll comment on his own content. Like he's a legend from his burner account.
Okay.
And like and it's so,
Hey,
but like honestly, like
you
we
gotta
could
do
do
it.
that with transparency. Like
You gotta do that.
I was gonna say like we'll put the vote out, but then we'll also like go on our like they're not even burner accounts, like our own personal accounts, and be like we'll do our own little guessing, like just for the algorithm, just to like try to push it. Like ooh, they're getting interaction.
People
Let's
were
push
like
it.
commenting
People
on
are
this.
commenting this,
Turns
you know, but
out
like with transparency. Like I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just
we'll
saying
be
like
replying to ourselves.
literally, like no, I think they've only been together this long, or oh, they're not
Oh
even old
man.
enough to be together that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I was gonna make that
for
joke.
sure.
But no, it really, um, I feel like in order for us to make it to these milestones, like we understand that like we have to have a shift. And that's part of like being intentional and showing up at this moment
Yeah.
is like, especially when we've been together this long and when we've seen so many chapters of each other, and especially in parenthood, like it's almost hard to sit down at the end of the day and talk to each other. We're exhausted,
Yeah.
we're overwhelmed, we're overstimulated. And like a lot of times we find ourselves, probably like a lot of people out there, like just sitting down and getting lost in whatever it is that we're getting lost in instead of like pouring into each other.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a little draining. And so I'm really hoping that this experience is like beyond connecting to other people. Really, the essence is connecting with each other
For sure.
in
I
hopes
think
to.
primarily that's like the number one goal is for us to connect with each other. But
For
then for
sure.
sure, by us connecting with each other, people are going to feel related with a lot of the things that we'll probably talk about, because it is things that every either couple deals with, every relationship deals with, and then things that again that are either happening in the world, shows that we're watching, things that that are going on. So no, I completely agree with that.
And things that like we're like, of course it's not like we're not here, we're definitely not relationship experts at all, but like we're learning, but we made it this far. Okay,
For
like
sure.
we've made it a lot further than a lot of people make
For
it.
sure.
And I don't think that was accidental. And I think in
We're
order,
giving hints as to how long we've been together, but for
well, but
sure, there's
no,
some pictures out there of us like
and
being
we'll come around. It's
very
not a secret. I
young.
just wanted to make it fun. But no, I think that I think our story is unique and exciting and inspiring, and I think that again, we're not experts. We're learning, and I think that there are people that are going to be really interested in the things that we're learning together.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the end of the story, like when we first started talking about this, I said. It's maybe a little eerie, but like think Black Mirror-esque. If this is our very first episode, and like we had a whole season dedicated to us, like, and this is our episode where we just like kind of even get to restart. Like, we don't delete anything that's happened,
Yeah.
but like just our some of like maybe like the walls and things that we've put up and obstacles that have popped up in our relationship. Maybe if like we could just like press a button and delete those things and maybe start fresh from scratch. And this is our first episode, and like I'm rooting for us,
For sure.
and I want other people to root for us, and they should. And I'm hoping that by the end of this, like whenever that day comes, and hopefully it never does, because hopefully I think our dream is for this to evolve into something totally different, and unique and fun and profound.
Yeah.
But I hope that we do inspire people to work through things in healthy ways, that we're learning ourselves,
Yeah, of course.
and exploring ourselves, and we're doing it like in the most basic way possible. Connecting, like we're not even big drinkers, but like sometimes we want to sit down and have a glass of wine. Well, and we're celebrating, of course. We have a lot of things, a lot of really exciting things going on. And I think that's also so indicative of like where we're at, like focusing on the gratitude, focusing on the positive energy, not toxic positivity, not good vibes only, but like highlighting like, hey, sometimes there's bad vibes. We talk about how like famous people are always like famous couples. They're always like, oh, like they're so in love. And then when they separate, it like comes out of nowhere.
Like,
this just happened with
sure.
Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom.
Wow.
Like, wasn't it just a couple months ago she had this album out and she was like, oh, I'm so in love with this guy.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And it just kind of comes out of nowhere. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, they were separated for some time. Like no, like
because they only show also like only one side of them. I think it's very important to show the good moments, but also show like the moments where we're not getting along or like where we're having disagreements, and be able to again to like just voice those opinions. Probably here, let people have their own opinions about.
Let people vote
for sure.
Who's like go to the polls? Whose side are you on?
Exactly. But no, I completely agree. There is like in Dominican Republic, there's this huge YouTuber. I think you know who I'm talking about, Alafoque, and he's going right now through a divorce with his wife.
Oh snap! I didn't know
that. And they've been together for like they started their channel. I don't know, probably like 2016 around there,
Mm-hmm.
so almost coming on 10 years. Huge platform, but he is a believer of that, of like always like shedding a light as to
Mm-hmm.
like what's going on. And because there has been a lot of like the one that like the Orlando Bloom situation that you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
where people are like completely caught off guard. And he's just like, you have to, again, like if something's going on, just kind of like let people know. And I don't know. It's not that we're gonna be like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but
No, I know what you're trying to say. I think it's just hard to like put it into words because you don't want it to be like, oh, like we're airing on our dirty laundry because
we're not
we're
exactly
not doing that. But I think it's like in order, especially if,
being real. It's
well,
like
especially
the
for a lot of people who may be like, there's ebbs and flows of relationships, and we know because we have been through plenty of them.
for sure.
But like sometimes, and of course, there's only so much that people should tolerate. But for the most part, a lot of it is just learning how to repair and reconnect and come together.
For sure.
And but some people are blindsided by that in their own relationships because of how often we're sold this idea like relationships are just perfect,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden there's some huge explosive thing. But really, like relationships are in the little things.
For sure.
And I feel like this is also a challenge. Like there's vulnerability in this because like no, we don't want to come up on here like talking to each other disrespectfully. And like
For
we
sure.
don't want to do that in front of the cameras, but we don't want to do that
Yeah,
behind
we
the
don't do
cameras
that in
either.
our lives.
Like that's not like what would we be teaching our children if that's how we're talking to each other?
For sure.
And so it's a real lesson and challenge in how to like work against the way that a lot of us have been conditioned, like that confrontation has to be negative, or
Yeah.
confrontation has to be a fight
For
or
sure.
disagreement
Yeah.
that has to end in yelling and arguing and stuff like that. And I feel like people are caught off guard because they're not even mentally prepared for the really the level of conflict that you run into,
Yeah.
especially in long-term relationships, and especially when you throw out things like evolution of your job and job changes and layoffs and parenthood
And people
and life
change. Like
outside, for sure.
we are not the same people that we were when we met.
No, we were
Like
children,
we're completely
pretty
different
much.
people. We've lived in 3 different cities. We've had like a plethora of different jobs, and like been
Mm-hmm.
in like a wide array of situations. We were at the very beginning of our relationship. We've talked about this. Like, we didn't have a couch.
Oh,
We
we started
were,
from the
yeah, we were
bottom.
literally
Literally the bottom. Like we were sitting on the floor.
sitting on the
We
floor in our
were sitting
apartment.
on the floor.
Then eventually we got like a couple of chairs, and like, so we've come such a long way. But again, we're just like, we've evolved, but then at the same time, I feel like it's so important to be able to communicate, to be able to just like express your thoughts and opinions, but at the same time, like be respectful of the other person's thoughts
Mhm,
and opinions, and just like, again, have a genuine conversation,
mhm.
honest about, how you feel, what you're thinking, and then like reciprocate that
Yeah.
from the other person.
Be vulnerable, be
Yeah.
accountable, be honest, and but also just be intentional. Like, um, like I said, I'm rooting for us.
Cheers to that.
And then the last thing that I think I just want to do like an honorable mention
Mm-hmm.
because we are parents. We're in our parent era.
For sure.
And that's a big part of why we're showing up at way past our bedtime to do this. But because like if we don't, like when do we make
This is
time
like
for
the
each other?
late night show.
No, but yeah, but like literally, like when do we have time for each other? Because like
For sure.
let's be real, we would have gone upstairs, we would have laid in bed, and we would have scrolled on our phone
For sure.
anyways. So like, okay, we
Or we
put
would
the
have like
phones
watched the
aside,
show and
yeah,
like,
and we still
yeah,
would have probably scrolled on our phone,
for sure.
and we would have said like 2 or 3 sentences to each other, and we would
Yeah.
have gone to bed, and it just would have been like surface level
This is
stuff.
an opportunity for us for sure to have conversations,
We're
to
showing
like
up
talk
on
to each
purpose.
other, and like, exactly.
And by doing it in front of cameras, like and doing it in a way like, okay, we promise to show up like this many times, like it's not even we're just showing up for
For the
anybody
people
out
out
there.
there, but for each
We're
other.
showing up for each other
For sure, I
and
agree.
in hopes to show other people that like, hey, in order to get as far as we've gotten, you got to show up for each other.
For sure.
But I was gonna say like honorable mention is that our Bubba just finished preschool,
Yep.
and like there's
Time
nothing.
flies.
There's nothing like having pride for our kids though.
Yeah,
And like that's a story that I'm excited to share eventually about our journey to parenthood, because I also think that it's a very impactful, very special story
for
for us
sure.
to get to this point. But in this moment, like it's just I feel really, really lucky.
Yeah. Kids are
And
blessings, like for sure. Like people, like I feel like other parents probably will relate to this, but like we could also go and like eventually dive into the struggles of like getting pregnant and like
oh, for sure. That's a
miscarriages
whole
and like
our whole journey, even like with Bubba, like how Bubba came
how
about
that was
is the
like
most insane
for sure,
story that to this day our own family and friends like don't even fully believe
for
our
sure,
story, and our story is true,
for
and
sure.
it was not a blast. Like
And
it
it
was
wasn't the
wild.
traditional way for sure of
We
like
did not come into we came into parenthood in a really bizarre way, in a really bizarre time,
for sure.
and we're making it, and we're I always say like I'm thriving, but like we really, really are.
We are.
And like I mean, just looking at him, it's so exciting, but there's also like this sprinkle of tragedy, because I feel like I don't know what it is about today, because today was his last day, but I feel like
You're a little
tomorrow
crying
he's an I
today.
did, because I feel like I'm saying
For sure,
goodbye
no,
to
I
this
know.
version of him that like we'll
It's
never see again.
yeah.
You know, it almost feels like today.
That's the tough thing about like being a parent is like seeing your kid go through like all these different stages, but like also feeling like you want to hold on to those moments, and
Hmm.
then they just like they come and they go, and like like there's so many things that he used to do that I wish I could like have him do again, but that
Bottle it.
they're gone. Like that's it. Like he's not that toddler anymore. Like he's turning into a kid now, and it's sad, but at the same time I'm so happy because he is growing, and he's so smart, and he's like doing all these
Hmm.
things. But I also miss that little kid that used to say the funny words and like
Hmm.
used to like say, I don't
He
know,
used to
funny
call like
things. It's
mango
just
juice go-go juice. Like
yeah,
go-go juice? Like, yeah, you can have go-go
for sure.
juice.
And then you never know when he's gonna stop saying that is the thing. Like you think that whatever is happening in the present is always what's gonna happen, and then like
Hmm.
eventually it just stops happening, and you don't know when the last day of him saying go-go juice was.
Hmm.
It just happened one day. Then one day he started calling it mango
Mango
juice.
juice.
And that's it. It's like unless you have a recording, so record your kids for sure. Like if that's something we've learned now having multiple kids too is like
Some things get missed by the time you get to the second
for
kid,
sure.
but really like there is that sadness of and I felt like today was the marker for whatever reason, because we have 2 years of preschool in New York, and the first year he finished, it was like excitement, right? But felt felt like some finality in toddlerhood,
Mm-hmm.
but it is so exciting to like watch your kids on the journey of becoming, especially when I feel like it's aligned with like what we're doing now. And I think that the message in that is like we're always becoming. It's easier to see in our own kids, but like we're always practicing the art of becoming, practicing the intention of going down a journey. But seeing it through the lens of kids is really special. And like I just want to
Well,
cheers to our
because
kids, because like
you can't tell your kids to do things if you don't you're if you're not willing to
for
do them
sure.
yourself. Like I feel like we're very much the type of person
Hmm.
that are like follow your dreams, do whatever it is that your heart is calling you to do, and how hypocritical I guess would it be from us to tell our kids to do that,
Hmm.
but us not do it for ourselves.
For
And
sure.
like, what better way than show them how to be a certain person than by modeling it to them.
100%. And like we're big, like heavy on the modeling, because I feel like we're even at a point culturally where like the world that we were prepared for doesn't even exist anymore. And like I feel like it's become the status quo. Like this is what we're preparing our children for.
Yeah.
But I mean, with AI, with everything going on the outside that we have no control over, like why not just encourage our kids, and not just encourage them like vocally, but like our kids, I mean, especially Bubba, like he has some big dreams, and we're like, let's do them.
For sure.
Let's do it, and we'll support you for as long as you want to do this, and it's on your own terms, and you have this dream, because why not? Like, imagine you had dreams at one point.
Sure.
I had dreams, and I feel like those dreams are still there, and that's even why we're showing up, even though this isn't exactly what it was. Like, in
Right.
a way, this is a portion of that. Like, imagine though where we would have been if our parents had been like really really invested in us seeing our dreams
For
through,
sure. And
rather than being
we
realistic.
had very, I feel like we had different experiences with this. Maybe because you're an only child in a way, at least you like
It's
when you were
complicated.
yeah, it's complicated. I'm the youngest of three, but I wouldn't say like yes, for sure. I know your experience was different from mine. I wouldn't say I was never told not to do something, but I was never also encouraged to
Hmm.
do certain things.
Hmm.
So for sure, for us to be able to like actively say, yes, you can do this. If you really want to do it, just kind of like put your mind to it. Let's help you.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out.
Let's
Let's
do it
make sure you're
together.
able to do
Let's
this.
make it happen as best we can.
It's something I feel like we want to give to our kids, where maybe at least from my point of view, again, my parents never told me, "Oh, you can't do
For
this,"
sure.
but they never really were like, "Oh, yes, let's invest
Yeah.
in you doing the
Yeah.
things that you're interested
Yeah.
in doing."
But because I wonder if there's like even a conditioning, because I think in my situation, like my parents also never did, but I felt like I was always just like my dreams were kind of brushed aside. Like, oh, okay, like that's a cool dream. So anyways, like, what are you doing to check the next box of like go to college, do whatever, like
For sure.
plan for your like real future, because that's cute, but like what are you really doing to plan for your real future?
Yeah.
And like if those things happen on your own terms, okay, whatever. And I just feel like we're at a point where like why don't I want my kids to do the crazy things?
Well, the
Why
world has
don't I?
changed. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like our parents lived in a very different world where traditional degrees was the like status quo of
Yeah.
like what you had to do to become a valued member of society. Like, you had to, go to school, go to high school, go to college, get a degree in a certain area. You couldn't just get
Yeah.
any degree. You had to study certain things, and then that would be the recipe to success.
Mhm.
But if anything in this like modern world has taught us is that now there's people out there that are like not even going to college and being super
For
successful.
sure.
That's not really determining success anymore. The
Mhm.
traditional careers, yes, they are like they are
You
those
can.
successful. You can be a doctor or a
Yeah.
lawyer, or like an engineer, and be successful. But
Yeah.
you could also now do all these other things and be just as successful.
For sure. There's now more opportunity than ever to pursue the big scary things that like call for you,
For sure.
and I feel like how funny is it like, even how normalized it is to like, okay, like for us, like going into corporate America and like, okay, we did that,
Yeah.
right? And now the art, maybe some people may disagree that this is art. I don't think that there's anything that isn't art about communication. I feel like the art of communication is at our core
It's
what makes
super
us
important. For
human,
sure.
and that's really what we're doing here. In the art and the creation of this is like what's been calling us back. So like we gave that the status quo a try,
For sure.
and we did it, and like I feel like you were successful. We built our lives on
it was a
it.
chapter that we needed to live.
Mhm.
It was a time that, again, something that we needed to go through.
Mhm.
It was a great experience. It's, again, like, it's not nothing against it. Like, for sure there are people that's what they want to do
Mhm.
from the day they graduate to the day they
For sure.
retire. But I feel like we would be doing a disservice to ourselves to not give ourselves like an opportunity to just try this, something that
For
we've
sure.
always had an interest. I went the traditional career route, but I had interest in doing things in the artistic world, and you know throughout college, eventually I decided to go to the traditional because of probably
Mm-hmm.
fear that was coming not only like from myself but like from teachers too, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know this medium is not easy, and
Mm-hmm.
you know
Scaring
and
you
it's
away from it.
it was
Yeah.
scary at that moment in
Yeah.
time, and like financial security was such an important thing
For sure.
for me. As we mentioned, like very young on, like we kind of fend for ourselves, and we
Mm-hmm.
weren't like, we don't come from super wealthy families that gave us an allowance and we lived this like very, I don't know, nice life. No, we were like, we literally had to work for everything that we've kind of like earned to this point.
For sure.
So now I feel like we're at a point where we can go ahead and just say, let's let's give this a try.
Yeah.
Let's do something that we're passionate about.
For sure.
And yeah,
And I wonder, because you were talking about how like you were going to pursue something, and of course I know what that is, but like even outside of teachers who talked you out of it, like just by not having our parents be more like vocal and supportive and engaging with us pursuing our dreams. Can you turn this off before this gets really loud?
yeah,
Um, like our just by like our experience of like lacking having our parents be like more engaging in the pursuit of our dreams, like what that does to our mindset, right? And I feel like this is a huge conversation we're having lately, and I think a lot of people have these conversations, but I think there's a difference between talking about it and being about it, and we're very in our being about it era.
for sure.
And like we talk a lot about like exposing our energy and how even with, and I think this happens a lot with parents and family members, like how often do you engage in a conversation and like right off the bat they say something negative, even if it's like, framed as a positive, like, oh, like you've lost weight. And it's
For
like,
sure.
why are you even talking about my body? Like, okay, yes,
For
I have
sure.
things for noticing, but like, can you like leave me alone? And then it like almost sours, even if you love and care and
It's
respect
a
that
compliment,
person.
but at the same time, you're
It's
like, why are
backhanded.
we talking about
Yeah.
my weight to like
Yeah.
start off
There's
with?
so many better things for that we could talk about.
For
Like,
sure.
why are you talking about this superficial thing as a person who's supposed to love, care about me, and be in my corner?
Yeah.
And I feel like even those conversations, because how often have we had those interactions with people that we care about, where it's like right off the bat, like, oh, like you need to do this, like you need to lose weight, you need to eat healthier, you need to X, Y, Z, you need to call me more, and it's like, can we just like have a good positive engaging
Yeah.
conversation, and like and I feel like we're really craving that energy right now of like, and it's not about being unrealistic, and like I said earlier, like it's not about toxic positivity, but it's about reframing. Kiki Palmer talked about this recently, like reframing things to fit and be positive even when there's obstacles. Like, okay, there's this big mountain that we climb, and we can either fight about it on the way up, or we can like hold hands and say, what's our strategy, how do we do this together,
Yeah.
little step by little step. And like that's really the era that we're in, and like protecting our energy too, like even in the media that we consume. Like I've started turning off the news, not because I don't want to be informed, but
Yeah.
like I can't be too informed
There
right
is a
now.
lot going on in the world. It is a scary time. We
Yeah.
live in New York City. I don't think we've even said this, but we live in New York, and like the time that we currently live in, for sure, New York could be seen as like a target for something bad to happen, and definitely like exposing yourself to negativity in a way
And
can
fear.
can put you in a certain headspace, and already like living in what can be seen as like a vulnerable place for now we're hearing about like, oh, sleeper cells and all this
Yeah.
stuff, and that thing can definitely implant fear. So for sure, protecting the things that you watch and like how much of it you consume to not allow you to affect you is
Hmm.
definitely important, I feel
Yeah, and
like.
like we don't have any control over whatever's going on out there, and like
Hmm.
I think that we're the kind of people like we just want like peace and love. Maybe that sounds cliche,
For sure.
and that's what we're doing here is if we can spread some peace and positivity and some love and some connection
Yeah.
and reframe, like we know that things are hard out there for a number of reasons for a number of people. we absolutely have our own struggles.
Yeah.
And I think it's an especially hard time for parents with young children. We've had these conversations of like, it almost even feels irresponsible to bring kids into the world. But I'm sure we're not the first people to feel this way. We're not the first generation to feel this
Mhm.
way. And I think that part of this project is hope,
Yeah.
that like all of those things can happen, but even speaking our divine protection into existence,
Yeah.
like we're divinely protected. I'm not over consuming media that's meant to scare me out of my dreams.
Yeah.
And like even if the end times are coming,
For
even
sure.
more of a reason for
Just
us to
again,
go
just
for it,
protect
because it just doesn't even matter if
your
it.
energy is so important. Protect your thoughts, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we expose ourselves to certain ideas or certain thoughts just because of the information that we're consuming, whether
Mm-hmm.
it be by via the news or
Mm-hmm.
shows that we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so again,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of going back on that, like we typically don't watch like scary movies, and
For
like
sure.
not because what's happening in the scary movie might happen to us, but just because it just gives us an uneasy feeling and like
Mm-hmm.
extra anxiety that we don't even need, or
Mm-hmm.
like fear that we don't need
Mm-hmm.
in our lives. And
I feel like it taps into this, like, especially like scary movies. Like, I think a great example is I would love to watch Jordan Peele's movies.
mhm,
I'm sure that he is an excellent storyteller, and there's nothing that like I love writing, I love storytelling,
yeah.
but I cannot expose myself
Are
to
you feeling bad that I
those.
watched Get Out and you didn't watch
No, not at all. Not at
it?
all. I'm so happy
It
you
was
watched
a
that
good movie
because I know I've heard so many
for
wonderful
sure.
things, but I know that my energy cannot take that.
Yeah.
And I wish that it could, but I'm super sensitive to that kind of stuff. And like
Yeah.
I can watch like a real, like I talk about like historical documentaries. Like
Yeah.
I watched this beautiful kind of like true ghost story exploring this plantation where there's this belief of people that of the people who were forced to work there against their will, like still inhabit the property, and it was about honoring those people.
Yeah.
And like those kinds of things, like those don't bother me, but it's those movies that are meant to really tap into you psychologically. It makes me feel really exposed, it makes me feel really vulnerable, and not even like personally, like my own personal maybe faults or whatever, but like really just my energy, and it
Yeah.
impacts my energy and my ability to move forward.
Yeah.
And like so we don't really watch scary movies, even like some kind of action movies. Like I want to watch the last season of You. I just can't right now.
For
I
sure.
love you, Penn Badgley, but like I just can't right
Like
now.
that's definitely a show that we kind of just like. We're like, you know what?
We're gonna get to it.
We're
We'll
gonna
get
get
to
to
it.
it sometime, but it's just not the
Right
time.
now is not the time. There's enough.
And there is like I will say I watch a lot more things that
For
probably,
sure.
like right now I'm watching Daredevil and you're not watching it with
Yeah.
me, and that's another subject of how I went back to watching Daredevil season 1, like the Netflix show, to go to watch the new Daredevil show that came out. But I
So
feel like I can't watch the new show without watching the old.
so you're on like season one, like not like the new that just came out, but like
No,
you're on
like
season
the
one.
original.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, like how's that? Like, but what is that experience like?
There is a lot of crazy stuff happening. It's like again the show's based off of Hell's Kitchen in Midtown Manhattan, and there's like explosions happening in the city, and like again it's very scary stuff.
Yeah.
And so definitely like it is like it is you are allowing this thing, this certain energy, these even images to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
live in your brain or in
Like in your
your
subconscious.
subconscious. And
Yeah.
I completely understand where you're like, you know what, I'd rather not even like give it a time of day, like,
Yeah.
or I don't want to give that
Yeah, and like
any
I
space.
wish I could watch those things, but especially like when it comes to Marvel things, like you and Bubba had started one of the new Marvel shows, and it looks super cute,
Yeah.
but like I feel like I'm at capacity of knowing things, and Marvel just really requires you to know way too much information,
That
and
definitely.
like I literally, it's almost like the mailbox is full. I don't even have the energy to delete to make space for new things.
Yeah.
I can only do so much with Marvel, even though I do think that we're fans, and some of the material is really great. But some of the material is really dark and psychological. And I
Yeah.
think Daredevil's a super cool superhero. And like in respect, But like, yeah, not for me. Like, I'm definitely much more of like at this point a rom-com type of
Yeah,
deal, or like we love to laugh.
for
Like
sure,
we love we actually like at the beginning of our relationship, like we were big comedy people,
for sure.
and we love to laugh and be
Go to stand-up
challenged, and for
shows and
sure, even though
like
it's been a while that we've done
it's,
that, and I'm just
life has
saying,
gotten a little bit in the
we
way,
live in New York and we could go
for
somewhere.
sure. But that
That's
like
okay.
even expanding on that, also just like something that I feel like is so important that's not talked about a lot is the the way that you talk to yourself in your own self talk and like
Mhm.
the positivity there. Just kind of like to connect this a little bit even more.
Mhm.
I feel like that's so important to going back to our kids, like teaching them as well to have that positive self talk and be able to
Mhm.
have like the voice that's inside your head tell you positive things, not negative things. And
Mhm.
sometimes we fall into these like cycles of doubting yourself or thinking that you're not good enough or
Mhm.
not smart enough or not
Mhm.
capable enough.
Mhm.
And I am of the belief that what you think is what happens.
Mhm.
So even, when it comes to finances and like
Mhm.
thinking, oh, things are too expensive,
We can't afford
we can't
that.
afford
Like,
that, like you are
mm-mm.
inviting that
Mhm.
into your life.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's so important to
Mhm.
like at all levels, again, not only like in the things that we consume, but also just like the within our own like psyche, being
Mhm.
able to just be positive and again say like that you are capable, that you are strong, that
Mhm.
you are doing what's right. And we all have our doubts, but it's like being able to train yourself to when those things happen, being able to be conscious about it,
Mhm.
recognizing it as like what it is, and hopefully being able to flip a
Mhm.
switch.
Yeah, I saw this. I was telling you that I'd seen this interview that I think was with Henry Winkler, and like he's known as like a nice guy, like a really positive guy, and he was talking about how he trained himself to get to the point that he is today. I mean, he's an iconic actor,
Yeah,
and he said that every single time he has a negative thought, he imagines it inside of a bubble, and he imagines it just floating away until it pops and it's just like out of existence and it no longer impacts him.
for sure.
And I feel like applying those things, like instead of saying like you can't afford it. I saw this thing where you say before, I had to order some things for our kids,
Mhm.
and it's not that we couldn't afford them, but I was just like, oh. And of course now with the way that things are priced
For
these
sure.
days, I was like, ugh, like of
So
course I don't want
expensive
to
or
spend this
like
money,
yeah,
right? I don't want to, but instead I said, this money that I'm spending, one, it enriches our lives and it's going to come back to me tenfold. And the next day, I got the most random deposit of a refund from
that's
orders years ago.
that's how it
Like
happens.
years ago
Yeah,
that like I didn't even know existed. I wasn't expecting, and it was really it was less than 24 hours. And like that is how you have to talk, because you have to believe it so you can tap into the algorithm. And to expand on that, something that we do is that we're not like big screen time people. Like
hmm,
our kids don't have iPads, and like okay, I totally get why kids do, and how why people parent in that way. But it's just not really for us, and we have our reasons, and we've done our research. I mean, like hands-on research, and we know that it doesn't work for our family. But something that we do is we watch things as a family. And it was so funny because just tonight we were trying to find something, and we usually do, like, we love game shows, we love trivia, we love
for
strategy
sure.
shows. We're pumped for Big Brother.
Yep.
But we had just come off watching
But
one
like
show,
traders and
Traders. Oh yeah, so we just came off watching the Millionaire
the
show on Netflix,
millionaire.
and we were a little burnt out from it though, and we needed something a little bit different. And so you put on a couple things that we vetoed, and then you put on this one
Got
show,
pizza.
and Bubba goes, "Oh no, he's put on another crazy show." And it was just like so genuine from the heart,
That
like,
was
oh
funny when you
gosh,
said
like
that.
what is this guy
I was like,
putting
you don't even know
on?
what I put on.
He
He's
didn't.
like,
But you know what's funny is that it ended up being like it was so aligned, like funny, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he's a magician. He's on Netflix. We'll
It's a
put him.
magic show,
We'll
yeah.
we'll put him. We'll put him like somewhere right here, right now. But it was so powerful because, of course, Bubba immediately was into it, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Magic for Susans," and like singing "Magic for Susans" out of nowhere and laughing. But the message of the show was the power of thoughts.
Yeah.
And how powerful it is. And of course, like in the minds of a 4-year-old, like he ended the show with like the most perfect message of like a reminder of with great power comes great responsibility, and the
Yeah.
power of you were responsible
Something that
for the
we
power of
tell
your
him
thoughts. Oh,
all the
our
time, too.
4-year-old, like that guy, I'm sorry I don't remember your name because you deserve the credit here. Literally plug him right here because like that guy blew our 4-year-old's mind. There was a moment he took it too far and we were going to sleep and he was like, I don't know if I would ever go on that show because I did not like this pokey part. Spoiler alert. But I mean the message was really
how the
profound.
mind is like so.
I mean, how he tapped into the mind, and like that's really what we're doing here. But it was really really special to experience that. So thank you, that guy. But I will say, like that guy came for the Carbonaro effect. Like I love that guy. Really good, sure. I love that guy. Like where's that guy? Like can we get him on our show? Around,
but like there's
like space. Justice for like, can you imagine? Can we just like try to manifest that? What if we had, was it Michael Carbonaro? Like maybe one day you can come join us on our cloud because like Netflix we love you, too. Or the Netflix side, but we couldn't do that after bedtime because if we did that after bedtime, we would be in trouble by our children. But but we love that kind of stuff. Like we love funny, like lighthearted stuff. Like not mean, but like funny, lighthearted. But it was the perfect message. But again, it's today.
Also like just kind of on the same breath of everything we're talking about. How the mind is like so powerful. And it's the secret as well. How you just have to like think things into existence. It's all about like what you tell yourself and the energy that you put out, and how these things eventually end up happening just because you're putting them out there energy wise, thought wise, like. And it's with everything, with like relationships, with job interviews, with like actual being at work and being successful. If you, for example, work in sales, and like you can fall in a funk, in sales and be like, oh, nobody's saying yes to me, and you can like fall into this thing, as opposed to being like, no, like the next one is gonna say yes, and even before you speak to the person, kind of just saying this is gonna happen. I'm confident in myself that this is gonna go through. Like is such a powerful thing, and I feel like there's a universal energy that works with this, with like the mind, with our thoughts, with what's going inside.
And what we're learning right now that I think so many people don't know how to do, and we don't know how to do, but even on the show that we watched, Shady with the Magician, was showing like how to be intentional about it, like how to walk into a room and be confident. Okay, it's so easy to say, okay, be confident, but like what strategies can we use to walk into a room? Because especially like people like us, I would consider us more introverted. And with parenthood, with a pandemic, and with the timing of the way that our lives have kind of unfolded, I think it's made me even a little bit more introverted. And so learning how to walk into a room confidently, and instead of going into it thinking like maybe nobody's going to like me in here, or what if I say the wrong thing, going in, I saw this girl say somewhere, I hope I saved it, this is not my idea, but how just a simple act of walking into a room, and before you interact with anybody, like taking a deep breath and looking at all four corners of the room and pulling them into yourself and just putting them into your pocket, and like just as a way of saying like I am the energy of this room, and I'm assuming the energy, and and doing it with and like and speaking into how you want it to be. Like for me, and be like, when I walk into a room, like I want people to think I'm kind, and I want people to like think my jokes are funny, because I do like to joke and I do like to be funny and make people laugh. Not because I want to please people or entertain people, because I love to laugh, and we love to laugh. And like those are always my two things. Like I hope that I walk away from interactions people thinking she's really, really nice and she's really, really funny. Because I do think I am those things, but it's so easy to get into your head. And we are currently, like, it's a muscle.
Yeah.
We are currently building the muscle to shift out of the more negative self talk, the more negative you draw in, the more negative you think about yourself. When we shift away from those things and we think positive thoughts to the point where I'm reading this book, very famous book called The Artist's Way. And
Mhm.
in the very first chapter, it talks about negative thinking. And there's this page where it's like, here's a bullet pointed list of all the negative thoughts you may be thinking about yourself. I couldn't even read the page.
Mhm.
Like, I couldn't even expose myself because I feel like I am being so intentional that ascending.
Yeah.
I'm ascending past these negative thoughts because I know what I'm capable of. I know what we're capable of.
Yeah.
And like,
For sure.
again, this is a calling. This is
Yeah.
not us trying to be anything other than our authentic
This is
selves.
something that we've just wanted to do, and
Really,
we're just
really.
doing it. We're being positive about it. We want to have fun with it.
We hope we inspire
We
people.
want to inspire people. We want to just, again, just put ourselves in a certain way, like, out there, but at the same time just like do it because we've always wanted to do this. And
Hmm.
like, that's the that's the real way to be successful, is to do the things that you love, do them with passion, do them with,
Hmm.
like, again, just like not be afraid, and just take the
Yeah.
leap. And
Because, like, if not, like, what's all the point? Creed from The Office. He has this one of my favorite
Creed from
lines.
The Office. I cannot believe you're gonna quote The Office, but
He says,
we're talking to a super fan here.
he
This is gonna
says,
come out how you are
I may have to
obsessed with
quote
The
The Office.
Office.
Like, I've
Okay,
probably seen it 2 dozen times, but it may not make
two
sense.
dozen times
But
sounds about right,
he
probably.
says, if I can't scuba, then what's all of this for? And like, because scuba is something that brings him joy, and like, if we cannot live in our joy
For sure,
and our purpose, what's the
for
point?
sure.
Like,
We only have one life.
why would we continue on? Why would we have kids and push them into this life of mundane people pleasing? Like, that's just not even worth it, you
Yeah.
know. And so that's what we're here to do, and it feels like the right moment. And I just want to say, like, I'm really proud of
Yeah.
us, and I know that you ran out of wine.
I'm sorry, I was hit. That
It
wine
is
was
good.
good.
No, it is. It is. Is this
I
the this is the Pinot?
The Pinot.
Oh no, this was good. Okay, and we purchased it locally
Yeah.
from a black-owned business. Shout out. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to. I don't want to be pinpointed. But from a
You don't
local
want to be swatted. You
place.
know that
Please
happens to,
don't do
like,
that to us. No, see, we are divinely
negative
protected.
energy.
I
That's never gonna
reject.
happen
I
to.
reject that. Okay, no,
For
no,
sure. Yeah.
no.
Well, we're not live
I
streamers
reject
either,
that.
so
I reject
luckily,
that.
yeah,
No, we're good people. We do not deserve that at all.
for sure.
But no, like, shout out to us. This is a celebration. This is an invitation for us to ascend into our purpose.
Yep.
We're doing it. We're doing it with intention. We're doing it with positivity, and we're doing it with love.
And again, we want to
With
connect with each other,
love.
but we want to connect with everybody,
And like, we're
with all the
doing our
souls out
thing.
there, and
We're
like,
doing our thing.
hopefully bring them into our little kind of like bubble of thought, and
Hmm.
like just have other people also do the things that they want to
Yeah.
do.
This
You
is a
know,
message of hope.
this is what we want to do, but people, there's a ton of people out there that are, wanting to do a ton of stuff, and they maybe just haven't taken that leap
Yeah.
to do it. And like, if this shows anything, is like, just do it. Just
To
like,
leaping.
to taking that leap,
To leaping.
for sure.
And shout out again to our kids, because like, we really did our thing with them, and I think that they are probably a huge driving factor for us. And so shout out to them, because I would like to dedicate this to them, because this is really for us and for our family.
For
And
sure.
I can't wait to see where we go, like, even 6 months from now.
Yeah.
And so shout out to them and shout out to us, man. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
We good? Do we do it?
I think so. I
Did we
think,
do it?
we can We can tell people to subscribe to our channel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Comment on the video. Give us your
Guess
opinions.
guess the number
Of how long we've been together.
Long we've been together, and the winner
You
gets.
don't have your ring on.
The winner. Well, I don't sleep in them, and I don't parent with them because I wash my hands a zillion times a day. So like no haters because it is gorge, and you did kill it. Shout out to Anna Sheffield.
I was also holding the wrong hand, so.
Oh yeah, but no, I just like like
for sure.
I got kids.
But,
I'm jumping. I'm grabbing.
No, for sure. Like comment, guess how long we've been
Guess
together.
the winner gets a shout out, even if the winner is one of us. It'll be like whoever comments first from our burner accounts. And see you guys next time.
Share it, like it, subscribe it. Our cloud on in Brooklyn.
No. Try that again. All right. No. I like meet you better. Meet you guys next time on our cloud in
Brooklyn.
No. Try one more time. Okay, wait.
That wine was a little too good.
Wait. Meet you next time on our cloud
in Brooklyn.
And that's a cut and a scene. And thank you very much.
All right. Good night.
That was cozy. Everyone. I know. I gotta go to bed.
Let's do it.
Let's go to bed. Go to bed.